Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation Integration Part 50, Casual Conversations 15. More stories today, again just working through a bunch I've written down. Nothing too serious, kind of just more, couple stuff from right around college time. Last episode we covered the 7th grade wonder years. But I've referenced my weightlifting career. Again, I've never competed, have no interest in competing. I think what I said exactly was about as serious as you can be without competing. Just meaning training regimen, really trying to increase my strength. So if anyone's curious, my lifetime, again, my strength is just, I'm just an average gym goer anymore. I'm still pretty strong, but just nowhere close to my personal maxes. All-time bench, I hit 375 touch and go, 365 paused, competition style lift. And I never put 4 plates on the bench press. Flirted with 385 to 390 for a while, but 375 is the most I ever did touch and go. 365 paused. Squat was definitely my best lift. I probably never hit 6 plates, so that would have been 585. It was 20 pounds lighter, so 565. Again, you can find videos of me squatting. A couple of the older ones on my Instagram were not great, but high bar, very good form. I have a video of a paused 500-pound squat in full depth. Deadlift was a little less than squat. I think my maximum was, probably 550. Cleaning. There's a story about cleaning 350, but the most I ever cleaned, like full squat cleaned, was 350. Did not press that. I don't think I could. I could only do like a jerk or a split jerk press of probably only 275 is probably what most I ever did on that. Clean was way higher than my press. What's the other one? Snatch. Most I ever snatched was probably 235. Definitely did 2 plates. And body weight, that would have been, I don't know. My old buddies I used to work out, I used to call it street weight, when you would weigh yourself with all your clothes on. But in actuality, probably 215 to 220, closer to 215 body weight. Like I said, today I'm right 185, and that's pretty standard for the past 3 or 4 years. So those are just some of my numbers. Again, if anyone's curious, I worked at a gym. Now some story time. I worked at a gym. I tried to be a personal trainer for a while, and again, another one of these things. Me and my buddy put together video clips, put together flyers, tried to email, some of the schools around us, super affiliated, again, trying to start a business, trying to show some initiative. 0 responses. Literally, actually 0 responses. I gave being a personal trainer a genuine effort, but again, to this minute of this day, not one thing that I put out into this world has worked in any fucking meaningful way at all. So I was a personal trainer. I think I had 1 client, which was given to me by the gym that I worked at. I was emailing people all the time, trying to sign up clients. It's just a complete fucking headache. No idea how you make it as a personal trainer without referrals. You just have to get lucky. Again, no amount of hard work is going to out. You just got to get lucky. There's got to be an opportunity. You have to have a customer. You have to have a trainee. Something has to work. But personal training didn't work out. But I was also working at the gym while trying to get a clientele going. So at that gym there we had a bench press competition. And it was a month preparation, and then there's, just open to any of the members or to anybody of the staff. And it's worked with some cool guys. I remember Gene, I remember Matt. Hope you're still doing well. Matt was the owner. Hope your business is doing well. I thought you were a pretty cool dude. But we had a bench press competition, and it was 3 rounds. Again, just three weight require, or 3 attempts. And there was, in my weight class, frankly, there was a guy, I said it was mid 200s, or not mid 200s, low 215-ish. There was a guy less than that. He was in the 180 weight class, and he benched 405 or some shit, or 450. He blew out everybody's numbers. But luckily, I was in the heavier weight class where I was one of the top 3 competitors, and again, the guy in the lower weight class blew out everybody. So it was whoa. But again, again, very, I don't know if they compete, but certainly regular weightlifters, if not competitors. And so the first flight, everyone, 3 people competitive in my weight class, we all hit 315. And then I'm trying to be extremely specific. And then they go up to, or it might have been, I think it was like 325. It's like three plates and maybe 5s on each side, or 10s on each side. But they go, whatever it was, typically when you're weightlifting, you decrease your jumps, right? You'll bench press the bar, then 135, then 185, then 225, then 275, then 315. And so, just as a weightlifter myself, it's very structured. You can kind of like gauge how much the next jump is going to be based off their previous jump, because it's going to decrease. Just basic psychology and basic experienced weightlifting. So I forget the exact first attempt that we all did. It was either like 325, and then they went to 345, and then because it had to have been a 20-pound jump, because, or maybe it was 335. It was 315. Here it was 315, then 2 10s on each side for 335, and then 2 10s on each side for 355. And now when we were giving our weights, they had a little, like, it was like a competition. You didn't tell your attempted weight was not posted publicly. But the first 2 competitors, and all 3 of us had done the same thing. It was the 335, 345. And then, so I'm sitting there in my head, I'm going, so if they just jump 20 pounds, there is no chance they're going to jump more than 20 pounds, so I will jump more than 20 pounds. And so I went up to 360, which if you're a weightlifter, that's a very odd configuration with 45-pound plates. It's 345-pound plates, 2 10s, and a 2.5, which most people would just jump up to 365 or keep it at 355. But no, I went for 360. And right when I said that, the guy taking I think the other guy's name was Chris. Shout out Chris if you're watching this ever. But he just starts laughing. He's just like, I'm like, what's funny? He's like, and then he asked me, did you see me write down the other attempts? And I was like, not at all, dude. Like, not one chance. And he had the clipboard, and no, I didn't. But then, so we go to the thing, and of course, the next 2 guys, 355 is what the first guy benches. Clean press. Next guy, 355, clean press. Me, 360, clean press. I win. And so the other 2 competitors were like, and the people like running the thing, and it was just very casual weightlifting, funsies for the staff and the employees. And they were just like, how the fuck did you know that? And I was like, well, it's not that complicated, yo. If you weightlift, that's just typically what you do. And so I was able to get literally 5 more pounds on a bench press and win the bench press competition. And they were pretty floored by it. But again, just more social engineering, good science theory predicts stuff. So that's how I won a bench press competition. And also, fun fact, you still have to be able to bench 360 pounds. Another couple stories from that gym. So also at that gym, let's plug it up again. I think I haven't even checked. I hope it's still doing well. A Powerhouse Gym in Columbus. I think it's on, I don't know, Vine Street maybe. So if you're in Columbus, Ohio, check it out. Shout out Matt. Forget your last name. Catalogna. Again, I hope your business is doing well. But so Columbus, Ohio hosts the Arnold Sports Festival every single year. And again, it's been delayed for the COVID and whatnot. But again, I was a front desk, just like the front desk dude when you walk into the gym. And around the March time, all of these humongous dudes start coming in. I met Jesse Norris, who was, again, pound for pound, one of the strongest dudes, at least several years ago. Mostly, like, all of the big weightlifters that you've seen on Instagram and stuff. If anyone, I'm sure no one remembers me, but I was the front desk dude. But one person of note comes in, everyone know who he is. I'll be back. Mr. Schwarzenegger, the host of the Arnold Sports Classic in Columbus, Ohio, comes in. And he was in there several times. I mean, while the festival's going on, that was kind of the gym that they would work out at. And they had a big deadlift competition again when I was working there, which was cool to watch. You're seeing people pull 800, 900 pounds or like 250 less, or less body weight. But so one of the times Arnold comes in, and I'm almost certainly sure Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't remember me, but Arnold, you got to meet Brad, the big cool Brad guy over here. And he was going to work out, and he gave me his iPad, and he's like, can you watch this for me? And I was like, sure, absolutely. And so he goes in and does his workout, his lifting. I think he did some bicep curls. Respectable. But again, this is like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And then, like, this is right at the time I'm getting my patent. Like, before I started with the business part that we caught on the phone in this lecture series. This is right at the time when I'm starting to get into more of the CBD enriched alcohol. But this was the job before that. And so Arnold's working out at the Powerhouse gym. I don't know, about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, does his workout, comes back, and then I was thoroughly disappointed, Mr. Schwarzenegger. You did not say, I'll be back. You did not give me the I'll be back for your fucking iPad. I would have laughed. I'm a big fan of your movies, big fan of the Terminators, and I didn't have the balls to say, will you be back? I didn't say that either, so it's a little bit on me. But that was the time I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. Also, just another quick story, another kind of famous person I met was the main character from Blow, the actual cocaine dealer. I have a signed copy of Blow somewhere around here, I think. Hopefully I still have it. I don't know. But when I worked at the dispensary in Colorado, the Canassewer, and I was an extraction lab manager, like the second or third week, the dude was like released from prison. And so we did some like book signing or promotional thing for the dispensary, and he came in, and so I had signed autograph from the actual drug dealer from Blow. So those are kind of the two famous people that I've met as an undercover Brad myself. So now a couple more stories just from around that time. Actually, no, one more with the weightlifting. Just another, like, again, this wasn't at the same gym, but again, one time lifting in there in Metro Fitness in Worthington in Columbus, Ohio, doing heavy cleans, and this is like at my peak strength. And we're sitting there, and there was this like deadlift group. They would come in, be real loud, real obnoxious, the biggest douche lords that you could ever find in a fucking gym, fucking ever. And they would deadlift, like, again, most of them would max out around 500 pounds. And I'm cleaning 350. And so they're like in there, and again, real loud, taking up all of the fucking space. I'm a very conscious gym etiquette goer. I don't yell, I don't scream, I rack my weights, I clean all my shit. I mean, I'm a grown-ass man, unlike many of these man boys out there. But so they're deadlifting, screaming about literally trying 495, 500 pounds. Again, for deadlift is not like super impressive. And then they keep getting in my way, and like not in like, again, like I am being the polite one, they are being the obnoxious one, and they're literally like getting offended that I can like lift weights. Like again, they're getting offended. People who deadlift who have no proper hip or ankle mobility, who can't catch in a full squat, literally like getting mad that I'm like having good weights on there. And the dude, my buddy Tim will remember this, the dude like backs his ass up, like literally like my barbell's here, he like goes out of his way to like spot his boy over here. I'm just sitting there like, dog, if you want to take 350s right to the spine, that ain't my fucking problem. But again, just another quick story of me just existing and other people just like, So some more stories from about that same time frame in school. So I told you about my old physics professor, Professor Christopher Harada. Again, bona fide, wowzers, big IQ, big brains, 220 IQ points, verified, wowzers. Graduated from Caltech at like 14, wowzers. Where's your research, bro? But I took a class with his wife. Both him and his wife taught at OSU. His wife was Anna Peters. Again, this is one of the last teachers I have. Again, I don't have access to I use my Michigan State email because, again, my OSU email never worked. OSU was the biggest shithole. Number on a piece of paper, pay us your tuition, and fuck you. But what was I was checking. She was one of, like, if you have my Michigan State emails, she was like one of the last teachers who was like, if you need extra help, you can come in after class. After getting like 3 years of demonstrating proofs to physics professors, and then they're getting all mad that I can do stuff. Again, I told you about my Eric Broughton story about literally describing that the transition of the electron orbital will take some time, literally viscerally perceiving my professor saying, yep, that's a correct proof, and then saying, well, it's not what's in the textbook, and there's no responsibility for me, so, well, I'm just going to say 1 + 1 = 3, and that's it. But again, same department, wonderful, wonderful people. But Anna Peters is the wife, I think, so the wife of Chris Harada, but another physics professor. And she was like literally like the last. Again, I told you about the Russian class was my breaking point, And this was just like, again, we can help you if you need help. We're not going to publish your proofs, but besides that, we'll help you. We'll help you besides destroying your family. We'll help you besides letting you educate yourself. Besides that. Besides modifying our curriculum to make any sense. Besides that. Now the University of Austin, Texas is going to fix everything, and it's just not. But the group projects in physics, we had a fucking group project. And it wasn't really a group project, it was just you and a partner. I had some girls, and again, this is college, I don't know any of these people. They don't know me, there's no personal interactions at all, no friends. And so we had to give a presentation on the potential of V in physics class. Just the electric potential. I don't think it was electric potential, I think it was just potential, which would only be magnetic or electric. Displacement, discrepancy. But again, talking about replacing potential energy, it's kind of the first steps, they just go down to potential. And we're talking about it, and like I meet up with this girl like once or twice before the project. And again, without me saying it, like literally without me saying anything. We're just sitting there, and she's just one of those girls, again, sits in the front class, raises her hand, asks obvious questions to get validated. And we're just sitting down, and she just starts going. I'm gonna do this, 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 you're gonna do this. I'm just like, okay, okay. Because at this point, I'm just like, how the fuck do I escape a cold? Like, whatever this is, like, this is no longer education for me. This is playing games in beta males and female society. And we get to the part about the asymptotic decrease of potential. And she goes, I'll cover this part because it's the hard part. And I'm just sitting there like, again, not offended in any way, just like, do you know me? Like, what? What? But she was going to go out of her way because she was going to give the good presentation on the asymptotic part because it was the hard part. So we go into class to give the presentation. Just me and this chick, again, we've met like once or twice. The class is a cult. There's nothing to do. Everyone in college is just intellectually dead. And she gives the most butchered covering of the fucking potential. Again, I forget the actual presentation, but she butchers it. And so because I don't give a fuck about my grades at this point. Again, I just failed a Russian class because the teacher didn't tell me with her horrible Russian accent that the homework assignment is no longer being handed out in class. And so I'm just sitting there like just shoot me, like what the fuck is this? And so I asked my partner, I was like, what's the physical motivation for that? And the teacher, Annika Peter, you could just tell the whole class was like, again, because you go from talking about math, talking about methodology, talking about philosophy, to a physical empirical proof, and it just stuns everybody. It really does. And it's not complicated. You have to point out all the dumb shit people are talking. And so, again, I was just like, so what's the physical motivation for the asymptotic decrease of the potential? And then it goes silent, I go, because the barrier of a physical object, which is basically the foundational thing that I've been hammering into people in physics and math for a long fucking time. But again, just another case of the class going silent, the teacher going silent, my wonderful partner being dumbfounded because, again, they don't know what they're talking about. But she was going to handle it because that was the hard part. Another class I had, John Hurst. I might have already talked about this guy a little bit, philosophy. I'll keep this one quick. I don't think I'm being redundant. There's just so many of these fucking stories. And I took this class with my old buddy Dave Paletta, and now he's a lecturer at Arizona State. He gets paid to teach people mathematics. And again, remember, he was one of the guys I sat around and smoked weed with. And again, I was good friends with him. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the guy, but Brad's on the out. He's not in the team. So now Dave's a fucking math lecturer, and I'm just again trying to not get kicked out of my house because I don't have constitutional rights. But we took just philosophy, again, basic philosophy class, and it was like literally an introduction to logic. Again, I am not good at logic at all. And the prerequisites were like it was like thinking about logic, forming an argument, doing this. I literally raised my hand and I was like, I thought those were the prerequisites to living. Again, this is deadbeat college, no one finds it funny. I'm the edgy weirdo trying to ask a question. I'm literally like, how the fuck is like basic logical competency now part of literally life? But so I go through this class, and again, we had to write 3 papers. The first paper I wrote, I think this is a philosophy class, and I provide actual proofing. And so I write a proof. I get a 65%. And it was a great fucking paper. And this dude was a younger professor, again, close to our age, maybe in grad school, maybe like late 20s. Again, I'm 28 now, at the time, 20 to 21. Probably late 20s, early 30s at the absolute latest. And you could literally just see him saying, write my philosophy back to me. We covered the law of syllogism in his class. It's a big breakthrough for me. And I was just like, whoa. He asked me a philosophical question, open-ended argument, present your analysis, and I was getting failing grades for not regurgitating exactly what he said individually. And it's a proof. It's a proof. 1 + 1 = 2. Put that on a piece of paper and you get an F. You're like, whoa. And again, in every class, physics, math, biology, dude, any class I fucking took. Next paper I go there, and again, like I said, I was the best student. I would go to all of the office hours. Once school is broken, there's nothing more I can do. But I literally went into his office hours and be like, dude, what words do I need to write on this paper to get a good grade? Literally, that's what I said to the guy. And then I took notes of what he said, and I wrote exactly what he said, and I got it was either like an 88 to a 92%. And it was like, good job! You really learned a lot about philosophy since the last paper. And again, at this point, I'm just like, I'm not even going to the classes because this dude is such a fucking loony. Next paper again, I go, okay, so he liked that one. I literally wrote exactly what he said, so now I'm going to try to argue, do what I want to write about. Again, this is a philosophy class. Get another 65. Again, OSU, holy fuck, that school should be, again, kick them out of the NCAA. I'm so tired of living in Columbus, Ohio and watching people celebrate the fucking Buckeyes. And that school, the arrogance of this fucking city has caused more human death than both of the world wars combined. For real. No consequences, no one fucking cares. Beta males and females, again, people who've never contributed anything, they didn't build the telephones, they didn't build the cars, they just have all this privilege, all of this entitlement, and they're going to show no initiative. They're going to settle back down in their comfy little lives and say, well, I'm ready to judge you. I'm going to tell you what's right. I'm going to tell you what philosophy is. I'm going to cover this because it's the hard part. I'm sure this chick probably has not even graduated with her PhD yet. So, that's cool. And again, I do more proofs in a day than I can write down. So those are just some more stories. Not sure how long this one is gone, but this is stories from about the same time frame. I got 15 more. See you on the next episode.